Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome back. Tonight, I am going to be doing I suppose, a very requested show, even though we've already covered this cosmic clown before. His name is Ismael Perez, and he started off claiming that he was a super soldier who had all the same powers of Superman. In fact, the other super soldiers in his Avengers team, or maybe it was the Justice League, I can't quite recall, even called him the Kryptonian because he had powers so similar to Superman. And he fought galactic battles in space and fought an evil AI, and he saved the multiverse. But now he needs money. They all need money. And my friends, we can thank David Wilcock and Corey Good. Anytime you see one of these super soldiers or secret space clowns out there telling fake stories with absolutely no evidence, we can thank Corey Good and David Wilcock for starting this trend in which all you need is a story. You don't need any evidence whatsoever. And the more grandiose the stories, the better. The more aliens you put in, the more alien races you put in, the better. And this started a ridiculous trend. And now we have people like this JP with Michael Sala. You know, the guy's wearing a fucking paintball mask and he's telling people that he's a super soldier and fought aliens on Mars. And of course, we have Ismael Perez. And one thing they all have in common is they all basically steal from accepted or previous UFO and alien mythology. Ismael Perez is particularly guilty of stealing from David Wilcock and Corey Good, and I know because I believe I could be considered an expert in court on the scams of Corey Good and David Wilcock, having covered them extensively for years and years. And he uses similar terms like intel, briefings, and what was the other one? Oh, yes, the alliance. Ismael Perez constantly talks about the alliance, which basically just means Q-tard posts now. But what we need to know and understand is that the entire concept of this thing called the alliance was information given to David Wilcock by a senile old man, Pete Peterson, who was a fake computer expert, who was a fake scientist, who was a fake doctor with a fake education and a fake work history and a fake list of incredible accomplishments that he never did, like winning the Order of Lenin Award. And what we also need to understand is that these guys that do this are so lazy that they don't do any research. If Ismael Perez had done research on something called the Alliance, he would know where that originates from. And it originates from a senile old man con artist who ran pump and dump stock scams pretending to be an early computer pioneer. But I'm here to tell you, I have a background in computer science. Pete Peterson was a complete and total fraud. He never worked for Ronald Reagan like he claimed. He never worked for the Russian equivalent of NASA like he claimed. He never went to the colleges he claimed. He wasn't a doctor. So really, this whole guy's fake story, every time this guy mentions the alliance, I just laugh to myself because I don't even think that he understands or believes where that term came from. It came from a senile old man fake doctor with a fake education who told David Wilcock fake stories. So this is going to be fun, friends, because, like some of these guys are just so ridiculous. And let's be clear on one thing. He's trying to sort of erase that super soldier stuff and tone that down and now be sort of a spiritual leader. He's booked at Conscious Life Expo. And by the way, I just want to put on the record, Ismael Perez, I am going to contact Conscious Life Expo and ask them why they are letting a fake super soldier who's telling fake stories with no evidence, who's also, by the way, selling fake scam supplements and making absolutely ridiculous medical claims. And did you know that? Ismael Perez is so stupid that he's absolutely making completely and totally fake medical claims about these fake supplements that he's selling and what they could do for you. And we're going to expose all of that tonight. So it's going to be a good night for truth seekers, and it's going to be an extremely bad night for space grifters. We want to take a moment to welcome in the live chat. We'll give some shout outs before we begin. Mr. Sauce is here. Spooky, of course, is here. Anime Chris is here. Um, and we've got P. Oh boy, how do I even read that one? P. Shivers Darth is here. David Wilcock's biggest fan is here to defend David Wilcock, right? We've got Wodsick is here. Heavy Kev is here. Now it's a party. Operation Shutdown is here. Moth Loves Detracting is here. JLW is here. Raybert is here. We've got Jet Plate Sayer is here. I mentioned Ray Gunner. And we've got, let's see, Jet Plate Slayer. Tim Curley is here. We've got Lighted Kindergarten Thridium. Is that how you say that? I think so. Welcome. And yes, we've got, yes, I am the Space Grifter's worst nightmare. And tonight we're basically going to prove what a clown this guy is. Scottish Alan is here. More 9193 is here. Trey Smith is here. FPU Soft is here. But before we begin, just want to remind you that we are a viewer-supported show. I will read every single super chat tonight, and I will thank every single supporter. We'll be checking in with the Kick Chat. You can send a PayPal pledge. You can buy me a beer. I don't want to reach all the way over there to show you my brokey beer, but you could buy me a beer and support us exposing the space con artists and Cosmicon clowns and space grifters here on Truth Seekers. So before we begin, I do want to take a moment to apologize. Somehow I got through the entire winter and I wasn't sick once, unless you count having a brain aneurysm. But that's, I mean, I didn't get like a cold, a flu, a stomach virus, a fever, an ear infection. And this is very rare in my household because I have two children. Usually everything that my children get, I get. But for whatever reason, it might be that I've been, wiping all the counters down with antibacterial soap and all kinds of stuff. I found a COVID stash and I've been using that stuff again. For whatever reason, I didn't get sick like that all winter, but now I have. And I have some kind of terrible cold flu thing, but I've got my cough drops. I've got hot tea with lemon and honey here. And we're going to get through it because the AI algorithm gods demand that I can't take a few days off of that YouTube treadmill. I got to keep running on that bitch to keep it going. So pardon me for my absence, and please pardon me if you hear. I'm going to try to mute if I'm sniffling or coughing or hacking or sneezing or, blowing my nose. We've got the my wife gave me the whole do a show sick care package today. I did take some nasal decongestants though. Shortly before showtime, I'm feeling a little bit better. Like it feels like the pressure is off of my brain here. BM update. I'm not sure. What do you mean by BM up? Oh, bowel movement update. No, we don't do that. We don't. David Wilcock does that. I don't do that. And I just want to mention too, not that I'm bitter, but I got so many messages for people wanting me to cover this clown, Ismael Perez. And here we are, very low attendance so far. Hopefully attendance will improve as the show goes on. But this is one of those days where I go, I give the audience what they want, and then they don't show up. Maybe they'll show up for the replay. I don't know. But Ismael Perez is sort of a lesser-known space grifter. So, he's like a copycat of some of the original space grifters. And by the way, there is an epidemic of secret space clowns and fake super soldiers now because I know what it is. Everybody saw David Wilcock and Corey Goode making millions of dollars and thought, I could tell a good story too. And so they all rushed in. Of course, Corey Goode claims that his stories are true and everybody else is a faker and a LARPer, not him. It's kind of ridiculous. So before we begin with some of the information that I have found and the more, let's just say, data-driven part of tonight's presentation, I thought we could begin. We've already covered this. We could begin with Mr. Ismael Perez appearance on Super Soldier Talk. And I'm here to tell you, If they're on Super Soldier Talk, they're fake as shit. And there's a funny reason for those unaware. There was a channel called Super Soldier. The channel guy who ran the channel, James Rink, died recently. Rest in peace. I don't want to speak ill of the dead, but James Rink interviewed hundreds of these people that claimed to be super soldiers. And do you know how many of them ever showed their superpowers or had their superpowers shown in a laboratory testing environment? None of them. And quite many of them I challenged. For the most well-known example of a challenge to one of these fake super soldiers is Randy Kramer. I offered him $10,000 to get in a boxing ring with me because I wanted to show everybody he's not a super soldier. I would knock the shit out of him in a boxing match. He wouldn't do it, right? And of course, he ran from me like a bitch and then made excuses and said I wouldn't do it. No. And by the way, the challenge is now closed. Given my current medical situation, I'm not risking a blow to the head for a funny bit. But I would still pay I would still pay for a boxing match with Randy Kramer if he would box someone of my choosing. And I know some professional boxers that would knock the shit out of him, fake super soldier and all. And of course, this guy, Ismael Perez, mentions this guy, right? He mentions Randy Kramer in this interview. So I've put my fair use banner up. We are going to stress that what we're doing here is fair use. This is a transformative work. We're educating the public and critiquing the video that we are sharing. Given the channel owner has passed away, I doubt I'll have any copyright issues, but we still like to do that just to let people know that what we're doing is perfectly moral, ethical, and legal to do. Nothing wrong with it. One moment here. I have to remember too, we've been having audio issues, so feel free to correct me. Tell me if the video is too loud or my microphone is too loud as we go through this. I have been through all my settings. There's people in the comments saying we can't hear you at all while the video is playing. I listen to it on headphones and I can hear both my voice, which is usually kept slightly higher than the video, and the video just fine. I don't know if people are listening on shitty headphones or what's going on with that. Super Soldier versus Worski. I would pay for that. I would pay Worski too. Whoever wins gets 10 grand, but Worski doesn't need 10 grand that much. So I don't think he would do it for that. Super duper soldier. That is correct, Just Jenny. He's a super duper soldier. And by the way, the challenge is to Ismael Perez as well. Show us your superpowers. But, they've always got some excuse, these super soldiers. Well, you see, they activated my supernatural abilities for my missions, and then they deactivated my powers when I got back to Earth. Bullshit. Come on, show us your superpowers. And everybody knows I've had an interest in paranormal things and esoteric things my entire life. But when somebody starts talking about their superpowers and they can't show me their superpowers, I say, fuck off, you lying scumbag. Don't tell me you have superpowers if you can't show me your superpowers. It's bullshit. But this is where we're at, and this is where we find ourselves. So we're going to begin, especially because I always enjoyed James Rink's introduction. Like when he just takes whatever they write and he reads it like it's totally true, right? God bless James Rink. I hope he's in a better place. I really do. All right. I'll check in with the Kick chat before we begin the video. No support on the super chat side. No support on the Kick side. I don't think. We'll see. One moment here. We'll welcome in the Kick chat. We've got Rex Holes over there, Ray Gunner. We've got Light at Kindergarten Thridium. And that's about it. Whoa, big crowd tonight over on Kick. Let me get over to my why is it not letting me get to the Ray Gunner just sent 100 kicks. Wait, where's my annoying screamo thing? There we go. Ray Gunner sent a full send, 100 kicks, a whole buck on the Kick support. Thank you very much for your kindness, generosity, and support. Yes, a lot of people are doing that. Ismael told his chat that James died from a scalar energy weapon. Kerry Cassidy said the same thing. Yes, rest in peace, James. He was at least good entertainment. I'll give him that. All right, so let's get into this because James Rink's introduction to this guy is just wonderful, just beautiful. And this is from channel Super Soldier Talk. I've put the description of both videos we're sharing, or excuse me, I put the link to both of the videos that we're sharing and commenting on tonight in the live chat in case you want to listen without me. After the show, I mean. This looks like bad, this looks like his introduction looks like it was taken from I don't know, from Doom, right? It's like Doom level video level. Totally looks like real super soldiers, right? By the way, somebody told me that the main character in this intro is supposed to be James Rink, but we're going to see him in a moment. Let me know if you think that's the same guy.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Super Soldier Talk. I am James Rink.
Now, remember, James Rink, look at him. He claims to be a super soldier. And here's the one concession that I will give Ismael Perez. He's one of the only guys claiming to be a super soldier that actually looks a little buff, he's got that V cut at least, right? He looks like he works out. Most of these super soldier clowns look like complete and total fucking slobs. But I'll give it to this Ismael Perez. He looks like he lifts weights, works out. But that doesn't prove he has superpowers like Superman, though. But
And we have a very exciting show for you today. We also have a very special guest here. So we have Ismael Perez, and I'm going to go ahead and just read his bio.
Yes, come on, James. Tell us all about this superhuman soldier.
He was recruited as an ultra-elite super soldier in the secret space program by an off-world group known as the Central Race.
So aliens recruited him to be a super ultra soldier. He doesn't like the term super soldier. He likes the term ultra soldier.
That comes from the future, a.k.a. Wingmakers, according to the ACIO.
Who's the ACIO? They love acronyms, these people. It's like their own language. It's kind of culty.
He then served 60 years in the 5th Corps of Radiant Guardians.
Wow, he looks pretty good he's got to be, 30? So 67, he's like 90 years old. Guy looks pretty good for 90 years old, doesn't he?
To fight in the multiverse war against the evil AI. The Radiant Guardians work with higher dimensional beings beyond the Galactic Federation. During this time, he helped liberate galaxies in the cosmic sector of Inzra that consists of 100,000...
Wait, he liberated whole galaxies? Wow, this guy is important, right? This guy's so important. He liberated whole galaxies, but it gets deeper. He liberated the whole multiverse, right? Oh, I think I missed some super chats. Let me catch up here. We've got Just Jenny with one for the goal. Thank you, Just Jenny, for your kindness, generosity, and support of the show. Thank you for being a big supporter. Just Jenny, we appreciate your kindness, generosity, and support of the show, and for helping us to praise the cast. Thank you, Just Jenny. And we've got Anime Chris here with one for the goal. Anime Chris, big-time show supporter, long-time show supporter, and a channel member. Thank you, Anime Chris, for your kindness, generosity, and support. Ismael Perez looks like he is on roids, and James Rinks looks like the wackadoo version of Mr. Rogers. That is correct. That is correct, right? Thank you, Anime Chris, for your long-time support, for being a member, and for always putting a smile on my face when you say funny shit in the super chats. Thank you, Anime Chris. Let's go. Let's get some support. Where are all these people that were demanding I cover this clown? Right? I don't think Anime Chris was one of those people, and neither was Just Jenny, right? And neither was Dave here. But we thank you, Dave, for your kindness, generosity, and support. and also for being a member. He says the intro looked like an old Amiga demo. Yeah, it did, and I'm an old Amiga fan, so God bless the Commodore Amiga. It's what I first learned to edit audio on. It's what I first learned to make music on, digital audio. It's what I first learned to do digital painting on or image editing. I love Amiga to this day. Thank you, Dave7244, for your kindness, generosity, and support of the show. Now let's continue on here.
Universes. Our local universe is number 84, and our constellation number is 70 in our system.
Oh, that's good to know.
Which our planet
We're in Universe 84, in case you're curious, guys.
Is located is number 24, comprised of 52 local star clusters. Within that cluster, we are known as the planetary body 606. He now serves as a cosmic ambassador representing an intergalactic alliance known
as Intergalactic Alliance, the Alliance. Does that sound familiar? And wow, not only is he a hero with superpowers that saved the whole multiverse and different universes and different galaxies, but he's also an ambassador. How important. Wow.
As the Covenant of Palador. This is a cosmic treaty that was
Remember that, Covenant of Palador. We're going to show you where Mr. Ismael Perez is stealing most of his fake stories from.
Initiated by the forces of light in the higher dimensions to protect and guard the Earth from the Draco forces and the AI.
All right. This guy's a big hero, guys. He's protecting us from the reptilian aliens and the evil AI. SEF Network says, this is so gay. I know, this is so childish and stupid. Who believes this? I believe that Ismael Perez, just like David Wilcock and Corey Good, he preys on retarded people that are dumb enough to believe this shit.
There's a collective known as the Animus that the Guardian Alliance has been battling for over 1 million years. And
go lie bigger, go
was
home.
A warrior in many lifetimes, as recalled from his many past lives. The majority of starseeds that have volunteered for the call to rescue
we're on Earth 83, guys.
Ishmael, have been selected to come here to help. Ishmael is one of the inner council members who is here to bring forth the next level of cosmic disclosure that will restore our planet back to its original glory and fulfillment of the galactic prophecies. The information that he's going to bring forth has never been heard before on this planet. And we also got a link
protecting us from
in the description, our cosmic origins, which taps into several of your past lives, as well as true galactic roots of humanity.
Oh, and he's had past lives too. Sound familiar? David Wilcock? This guy steals from everybody.
Humanity and the origin of the cosmos and the Earth's relationship to the multiverse. So, without further ado, thank you for coming on here, Ishmael.
What?
I appreciate it.
Thank you, James, for having me here.
Yeah, James definitely drank the black goo.
By the way, and thank you, audience members, for joining us as well. We are live, and we will do the best.
Oh, I heard Star Trek Academy is awful. I'm very disappointed. I haven't seen any of it yet.
On strike already.
But I don't do woke shows, so I don't think I'm going to like it.
Anyways,
yeah, it does sound familiar.
I think we're going to be fine because we're going to stay on topic to SSP disclosure, which the AI gets confused about. It doesn't. So let's go here, and maybe we could start with how did this all begin for you? Being a ultra soldier, does that mean that you were created in some kind of laboratory and then inserted into the public?
Ultra-terrestrials, the term ultra-terrestrials predates Amy Eskridge. She just used existing mythology. That term did not originate with her. In Assassin's Creed, you pay the past lives of your ancestors. I never played Assassin's Creed. I'm so behind on video games. My son today he was angry at me because I got a Mortal Kombat for PlayStation 5 because I thought that would be a fun one we could play 2-player. And it's taken I think it's still loading. He started loading it like an hour and a half ago, and it's still not loaded. Like the campaigns have to load, and he got real mad at me. And I'm like, look, don't get mad at me. When I was a kid, I had a fucking Nintendo. You put the cartridge in and you played the game. You didn't have to wait for it to install or whatever, or download anything, So he was just disappointed. And a big bit of support from Kirky95. Great user ID. Kirky95. My brother-in-law was a wrestler, and his gimmick was Corky. He was like supposed to be retarded. I don't know, but great user ID and profile picture. Why do all these weirdos always have the cringiest sounding backstories that sounds like they're straight out of a teenager's first fanfic? Was not one of them recruited to just process paperwork? No, that's another thing. You'll never find somebody that was in the secret space program that was just like a pilot or an engineer or a cook or anything ordinary. They always make themselves the hero of the story. But thank you, Kirky95, for the very kind and generous £10 and one for the goal. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support of the show. Much, much appreciated. And we appreciate you. Thanks for appreciating us. Operation Shutdown says your son needs one of Pete Peterson's supercomputers. Well, he's got a PS5. He's already asking me for a PS5 Pro because apparently after all that wait for GTA 6, now it won't play on his PlayStation. You need a PlayStation Pro. And I don't know. I guess doesn't have a Pro. I don't know the difference. My wife bought it all. But thank you, Operation Shutdown. Now let's continue.
Such as in Project Surrogate.
The way my mother described it was that she was actually being abducted the whole time she was pregnant, a few times a month. And she just...
his mother was being abducted by aliens. Can we talk to your mother and verify this story?
recalled seeing these beings of light. She called them angels, but she also recognized that they were inside a huge mothership, and they were actually using gene splicing in order to delete.
This guy's at least 30 years old. There was no gene splicing. You know, there's always science problems because these guys aren't. These guys are not like Einsteins. There was no gene splicing 30, 40 years ago when you were born. Let me see if I can find out what. How old is? I don't know if this is going to work because lesser known people, Google often doesn't know. Yeah, no, it's finding a professional baseball player. It's not finding the space grifter. So we don't know how. What does he look? 40? But then he spent 60 years in space, so he's actually 100. You know, even if let's say let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say he's 45. They didn't have gene splicing back then.
Modified genetics, pretty much. They were actually mixing my DNA with all these different celestial races from different universes.
Okay, so here he says that his DNA is mixed with all these different alien race DNAs. So can we have a DNA sample, and I'll take it to a geneticist, and the geneticist will tell you that you have no extraordinary spliced DNA, you have regular human DNA. Why won't he let his DNA be studied by geneticists so he can prove that this story is really true? It's because he's a con artist and a grifter. He will never submit to DNA. I'll pay for the DNA test, Ismael. CN2311 with one for the goal. Sometimes you super chatters crack me up. CN2311 with £5 says, I was a super duper ultra elite premium deluxe space soldier. I can vouch for this guy. It's so stupid, right? It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Why? Because I corrected you on a factual error? And why are you always so nasty? You come into my chat and you're nasty to everybody. Then don't come here. I'm sorry. You said that the term ultra-terrestrial originated from Amy Estridge. Here, you want me? We'll Google it. When did the term ultra-terrestrial originate? It was coined by ufologist John Keel in his 1970 book Operation Trojan Horse to describe non-human entities that coexist. Amy Estridge wasn't even born in 1970. So I'm sorry, but we like facts and evidence here. I didn't do it to be mean. Like, relax. And why are we so high strung, right? Like somebody says something you don't like and you just start arguing with everybody. Like, give me, sorry.
And so I
Gosh.
was one of 100 individuals that served in Core 5 that were actually
Oh, he was one of 100 super soldiers. Great.
um,
Can we talk to the other 99? And can we see the other 99 superpowers? He won't let us see his superpowers. Maybe he'll let us see some of the other 99 people's superpowers.
also taken to be, genetically modified up in a mothership. And the beings that were conducting the operation were known as the Central Race. They do have other names. Some people call them the Azurites, which is a 12-dimensional group of beings that operate within
Yeah,
the Rock
never any
Confederacy.
tracks.
And the Rock Confederacy is a realm
Yeah, it's
beyond
from
the
his mom's
galactic
living
levels of
room.
reality,
Yeah.
going beyond the local universe into the cosmic minor sector of Enzra as well. So they come from really high level dimensional realities. And so it all started with these little stories that my mother used to tell me as a kid. I used to think she was just, trying to make me feel different because I was always bullied and picked on and I never quite fit in. So I used to think she was telling me these stories to make me feel better, to make me feel like I was
Revival's an
special.
asshole sometimes.
But one day she passed away when I was 16, and and I just remember her telling me 2 days prior to her passing away, she was saying, Ishmael,
Oh, maybe
everything
we'll
that I
look
told
into
you
that
about you
one.
being
Thank
an
you, Miller Man.
experiment that is being conducted by beings of light is actually true, and one day you are going to receive your memories. One day you are going to know who you are in your multidimensional reality and who you
Oh,
were
he's
prior to incarnating here on the
sure.
earth. And when she said that, I started, it actually triggered me, James. It caused me to like want to start meditating and it made me just hungry for
Yeah, how was
knowledge.
he
And that's
bullied
when
if
I
he had all these
began
superpowers?
investigating
Well, they
things
weren't
for myself.
activated yet.
But right before that happened, I did experience moments of
You may be right,
what they
Dave.
called missing time in my life, where I found myself walking on a particular street. And it's funny because it's always the same street. But this is the thing, James. I didn't know how I got there. I didn't even know what I did prior to walking on that particular street. All I remember was that I
Sounds
just
shady.
ended up there without any recollection of what I did, to get there. Like, I don't know if I was coming from school, from my house. I don't know where I was coming
Maybe that's the street where he buys the crack to come up with these fake stories, right?
from. And so that incident occurred 3 times in my life when I was 16, 18,
Peter Parker was
and 19.
bullied.
16.
And you know who else was bullied? Clark Kent, as a child, was bullied in high school. And both of them knew they couldn't use their superpowers to fight back from the bullies, right? I don't know. I think if you got superpowers and you were being bullied, you'd knock the shit out of that bully, right?
18, 19, about going to be 20, towards my late 19 year. When
I went to Catholic
about
school, and especially my grade school wasn't that bad because there was girls, and I think that really was the deciding factor. But when I got to high school, the bullying was terrible, like because it was all boys. You have no girls to talk to, nothing else to do, so people just messed with people. But I was always somebody that stood up for people that were being bullied. I was bullied myself a little bit, but I knocked the shit out of somebody in the middle of school, almost got expelled. My father had to go and threaten the vice principal to keep me in the school because I had kind of written down and documented the abuse that this person was putting me through. And then finally, I just had enough one day and I knocked the shit out of him. I never got messed with again. And it also did help that when I was a freshman, my brother was a senior. And my brother was kind of crazy, and everybody knew he was crazy, and he got in a lot of fights. So freshman year, they left me alone, but sophomore year, they started on me.
Be 20 years old. And that's when I noticed that happened 3 times in my life. So that's always been with me. I've always wondered why that happened to me. Why didn't I have any recollection as to why I ended up just walking on that street without knowing how I got there? And so again, I started.
Maybe you were
within
wandering
myself. I
in a
started meditating,
drug haze,
and that's when I felt like I was being communicated. I was receiving transmissions.
Yeah, it's
from
reality.
Other dimensions,
Yeah.
And I felt a connection to the off-world entities. I felt that there
I also was big into martial arts,
sort of,
so. But I believe that you
intimate connection between me and these off-world entities. So
That's what I tell
then
my son.
at that point I knew I was different. At that point I knew that I
Learn
was
to fight so that you don't have to.
And eventually I started having memories. Through meditation, James, I started having memories of my past lives in Lyra as a Lyran, I guess, high Lyran commander. I also had memories
Oh, lion
slash
people.
warrior. I
The
also had memories
Lyrians were
of life in
lion people.
Sirius, life in the Pleiadians, and I'm thinking to myself, why am I having these memories of being this great galactic warrior in these galactic wars? And this
They
was
make you
during
mad.
a time where people were still watching Star Wars and Star Trek, and to me, I felt like I was going crazy, having these memories of being part of these galactic wars, and so
Well, it's
I
validating
decided to
stuff, but
investigate
it's
things,
not
to see if there was
validating
any
too much of the
tangible.
Q-tard stuff. Come on, the Q-tard stuff is a little much, JLW. Ambergeddon is here. Now it's a party and not just a sausage party, so that's good. Okay, his info is bad meditation. It doesn't work. Yeah.
Records that actually confirmed any of this information. And I discovered a whole lot of information, due to my hunger for knowledge of this stuff. And it wasn't until I was probably in my early 30s and mid 30s that I started having these.
All right, so he's at least 35. 35 years ago, there was not a science of gene splicing, but I guess the aliens have advanced technology, so that explains the plot hole. I don't know.
Strange dreams that I was part of this group of elite super soldiers, and the reason I call it elite was because we had abilities that you would only see in, like,
Going to tell us
Marvel
about his
movies or DC
superpowers.
movies. Some of us were able to literally fly like Superman, emit laser beams through our eyes, electromagnetic plasma waves through our hands, like the X-Men. Capable of controlling weather with our minds,
That's called Storm.
capable of manipulating matter, energy, and time. And
Somebody's been watching the Watchmen and X-Men movies, I think, and other superhero movies.
had a lot to do with us being upgraded. So I started having memories of just kind of like what we see in the video game Halo, where we're strapped into this advanced aircraft and we have the things on, and
He's been
we're
playing a
wearing
little
these
too
special
much Halo,
suits,
this guy.
and all the men are built like they're genetically just like Captain America looking. Everybody was buff, and all the
Everybody
girls were
was
fit. And I
super
just
buff,
remember
and
it
the
was
girls were fit and hot.
I think it was
Sounds
50 men
great.
and 50 women, a total of 100 of us that were part of the column, or what we call Core 5, serving within the I guess what some call the program called Radiant Guardians, and the first person who actually came out and termed that was Randy. Randy Kramer.
Yeah. So this guy is quoting another guy. This is the wackadoo prover maneuver. Well, this other guy said similar stories to me, and it doesn't matter that guy was a complete total fraud selling medbed scams. Oh, by the way, this guy's selling medbed scams. He said in his latest video that they're going to roll out med beds in the next 60 days. So you know what I'm doing? I'm starting a countdown timer. Med beds within 60 days from now, right? Spiritual Ascension says, I'm aware of this. He left his wife apparently for his assistant, and there's pictures of these, but they're both hot bitches, though. I got to give him that. Ismael left his wife because she asked him to get the vax. He went around telling his followers that she was unwell. And then he got a new chick who is now his handler, Monica. All right. Well, yeah, what are you going to do, right? And we've got CN2311. Thank you for kindness, generosity, and supporting the show. Big applause. Shout out to CN2311. Says, is that a grifter with freaking laser beams in his head? Yeah, he claims he can shoot laser beams out of his eyeballs. Can he show us the laser beams? Right? I always like when these people are like, they're talking to all these different aliens. I feel like asking, are they talking to you right now? Maybe you're just schizophrenic, right? Thank you, CN2311. And we've got Dave with one, with $2. Thank you for that, Dave. And thank you for being a YouTube channel member. By the way, if you become a channel member during a live broadcast, we give you a big shout out and thank you. So don't be shy with that. Just click that join button. They always steal from video games and SG1. In my experience, you are totally correct, right? Watchsix says, I just watched, and thank you. Watchsix says, I just watched a video of Randy Kramer ripping out and getting all defensive and cursing because Steven asked to see proof of his military service. Yeah, he's a complete and total fraud. He was never in the military. He's a con artist, and he's a high school dropout. You can't get in the military if you're a high school dropout, I suppose, unless you get a GED, but I didn't find that he got a GED otherwise, Watchsick. But thank you for letting us know that. And CN2311 with another one for the gold. They rat on themselves. CN2311 with £5. Thank you very much. Says, dude's literally just named all his sources: Superman, Captain America, and Halo. That's right. But we found some of his sources. We're going to show you. We're not going to go too much farther into this. I just want to establish that this guy's claiming that he had Superman-like abilities and he could fly and shoot plasma bursts out of his hands, lasers out of his eyes, and he had super strength and he saved the multiverse.
He was the first one to come out that talked about Radiant Guardian. So before Randy Kramer, I had no clue. I mean, I've heard of like, Aaron McCollin, I think. I've heard of what's
You're right.
his name?
We're going to share the next video. He talks
about the guy that died with the black goo. I forget his name, but he was killed.
Max Spears.
Yes, I've heard of him, and then I've heard Corey Good's testimony, but they only talked about radiant. I mean,
That's
they only
true.
talked about Solar Warning.
Ramirez.
So it wasn't until I heard Randy Kramer's testimony about Radiant Guardians where it clicked for me, because that's the name that I kept
explaining the plot of
dreams,
Assassin's Creed
Radiant Guardians.
That is correct.
And I just remember scenarios where we were taking on this vessel. We would teleport to planet Jupiter, because that's where the main base for Radiant Guardians was located.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Planet Jupiter also acts as an intergalactic, where many galaxies are actually coming, sending representatives from different galaxies to create some sort of an intergalactic
black goo. No, it's the AI between, black goo. It's not Venom.
Billions of galaxies, and that's what's happening on planet
Jupiter. Here comes
by the way.
circle,
so that was our main place, because they knew about the of the programs that we were engaged in, and
most
so
people
I just
couldn't
remember teleporting to planet Jupiter,
like
and then from planet Jupiter they will
pause a second. Was Jupiter, was that actually solid, or did you go to Jupiter Command space station?
I believe that it was called Jupiter Command, but they also had another name for the city, because I know at Mars we have Prime Areas, and then there's another one, but I think Prime Areas, and then I think Jupiter was
New Warport.
You're right, and I know why. Spiritual Ascension.
Yeah,
in Ismael Perez's latest reports that he's giving, his videos, they're completely AI. He's telling an AI to write that. And what happens is the AI is much smarter than Ismael Perez, so it puts big words in, and we'll see. He can't pronounce half the fucking words in the script that he's reading. Nobody writes a script with words they cannot pronounce. I occasionally put some big words in, but I generally don't, because I don't want to flub the word. It's really ridiculous. Like, he reads words like the word infinite, he reads it as infinite and stuff like that. It's so obvious that he's not writing his own scripts. And I don't know for sure that he's making ChatGPT write his bullshit alliance reports, but we'll see.
I didn't know that part, because I never went. They never located me to Mars or dispatched me to Mars. I always went straight to Jupiter. But I do believe that the soldiers of the soldiers of Solar Warden did go to Mars as a preliminary.
I'm really
before
convinced
going off into
that
their mission.
he's having an AI
going inside Jupiter, and it was like just huge interstellar.
If you think about it, that makes sense. It's a word salad generator. That's what an AI is.
From representing billions of galaxies. And I just remember when I went. Say that again.
Well, does that mean that the surface of Jupiter is solid?
The surface of Jupiter is inhabited by
every astronomer is wrong.
Sixth dimension, but because we were we were operating from the fourth and fifth dimensional, we were actually inside Jupiter, where the structures are located. Yeah, and I just remember just many representatives of different galaxies cheering us on.
Oh, he met a lot of aliens.
Giving us their blessing before we went off on the mission, saying, "Wow, you guys were cultivated for this." Many universes came together to create you guys. You guys are the pinnacle of that, and now here we are, ready to employ you guys on your first cosmic mission to
Corey says
restore and save many of the galaxies and universes that have been afflicted by this cosmic AI. And it's not just the Animus. I mean, we were fighting different cybernetic intelligences.
The first ones from Babylon 5, you're right.
Different than the Animus, but of course they were working with the Animus. They were actually their minions. We were fighting a group of beings known as the
I hope you're being sarcastic.
which was like a very advanced cybernetic race. There was also a group of beings known as the Borg, and then in some cases,
The Borg?
some huge electrical cybernetic.
He just said there was a race of beings known as the Borg. Like, how lazy can you be? You just stealing straight from Star Trek? The Borg? Come on, man. And we've got CN2311 with another one saying infinite power. Yeah. He had infinite power. It's so stupid. Thank you, CN2311, for your kindness, generosity, and your support of the show. Much, much appreciated. Thanks for appreciating us. We sure appreciate you.
Beings that looked like dark clouds, and they were huge.
Star Trek is not
so.
safe.
And then, of course, a lot of the black spiders. The black spiders were actually one of our biggest foes. They were used in many universes to just kind of pop into reality and literally just terraform a planet in days.
No, he said Borg.
And
He'll
so
explain it later in the video. He said Borg.
Nuke them with a different type of EMP that we generated through our bodies, being jacked to about 60.
James got a lot of questions here. He's got to inject his own bullshit.
Consider these spider beings, were they actual archons, like negative entities that control this AI matrix that we occupy, or are we talking about physical reality like nanobots?
Well, they're one and the same, because all artificial intelligence is controlled by archon energy. That's the consciousness that embodies all AI. So yeah, we were definitely fighting the archon energy through the artificial intelligence, so whether in the form of a spider or big, huge, dark electrical clouds that were conscious, sentient, but with no emotion, of course.
Get to that short.
And other entities. And so I started
having robots,
dreams of like flying and stuff, and just like popping into the. Okay, so what would happen is we would meet for a preliminary in Jupiter. Okay, and after everybody gave us the blessing, all the representatives from the many galaxies were actually calling us, the hope. They were saying, "You guys are the hope of the multiverse," this and that. We were actually teleported, and how they would do it is they would plug in a.
By the way, at the time of this recording, the multiverse was hugely big in Marvel movies and stuff. They started rolling out the multiverse stuff, like the 3 Spider-Mans in one movie. And of course, the multiverse is it's a comic book trope. I never liked multiverse stories myself, because to me, it's lazy writing, like I just use it to explain away too much. Spiritual Ascension with 199. Super sticker. Thank you for kindness, generosity, and support of the show. Dave is asking, when was this recorded again? I'll have to check. We'll check in on that and let you know. We'll continue for a little while longer. And by the way, the purpose of this video is just to establish all of his crazy, wild claims. He was genetically modified with all these aliens' DNA. He's got Superman-like abilities. He can fly, shoot lasers out of his eyes, super strength, plasma bolts from his fingers, and he's saving galaxies and the multiverse and all this other stuff. It's really kind of stupid. But I wanted to establish that before we get to the meat of tonight's presentation.
Called a cosmic Stargate number. So how that works is like, the entire multiverse is divided into 7 segments. Each segment is
going to explain the multiverse to us.
So our local universe is located within the 7 segments.
Let me get the date of when this was recorded.
Known as Orvin time, according to these records. And so our job was to secure and restore the cosmic minor sector of Enzra, which occupies over 200,000 organized local universes.
June 20th,
so
2022.
200,000 organized local universes, about 1/3 were afflicted by this AI. And many, unfortunately, many galaxies were destroyed. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of galaxies that were destroyed. And so what we would do is we would teleport by plugging in the Stargate, depending on the universe we were going into. So,
by the way, I just want to say, being a comic book nerd myself, the whole storyline that he's explaining is basically DC Comics' Crisis on Infinite Earths. Look it up. In Crisis on Infinite Earths, there was an evil bad guy that was destroying the multiverse, one universe at a time. And all these different heroes from all these different universes had to come together to fight that evil and stop the destruction of different universes. That's what he's describing here. It's a DC Comics line, Crisis on Infinite Earths. Look it up.
That so that what they would do is they would first plug in 7, which is the 7th super universe, and then they would plug in 5 because we're part of the 5th major sector within the
Now
7th
he's
super
describing
universe.
Stargate.
And then they would plug in
You gotta
3 because
program
we're
the
part of the 3rd
Stargate.
minor sector known as Enzra. And then, of course, they would plug in the local universe. So since we're universe number 84, they would plug in like universe number 133 or universe number 78 or universe number 13. And just by plugging in these numbers, we would open up a portal from Jupiter and directly just access.
So he would access. He's traveled to different universes. This guy. That's what he's claiming here. He's traveled to different universes.
Within 2 seconds, we would open up the portal and transfer ourselves into these other universes within the minor cosmic sector of Enzra within seconds. And I just remember just being like strapped, like almost like we were about to go off into war and stuff, and just flying in these huge motherships and just being strapped. I'm sorry, they weren't motherships. I'm sorry, my bad. They were actually ships that housed about 100 individuals, but they were pretty big craft. But the reason I said motherships is because I do remember that in the Jupiter base, there was a lot of motherships that were in the inner structure of Jupiter that were kind of like hovering over the entire intergalactic meetings that were taking place there. And so what we would do is we would pop into these other universes, and then we would locate the certain galaxies and planets that were being mostly afflicted, and we would plug in their Stargate numbers. Each planet and each galaxy, each constellation has a Stargate number, and then we would access those particular ones, and then we would just
right out of Stargate.
And I just remember just coming back and everybody like patting us on the back saying, "Oh wow, you guys did it again, thank you so much. Now we secured universe blah 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 in the constellation blah 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 and so many planets, and you guys did it again, thank you so much. This was very, very
thanks for saving the universe. Well, at least that one universe, right? CN2311 with another 5 says he saved so many universes. It's so stupid. It's just so stupid. Why is his breathing? Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. CN2311 is the MVP of support so far tonight. Thank you for that. Listen how he throws out word garbage, and if so fast no one can keep up with it. That's the tactic of a grifter. Yes,
crucial. That we were successful in this operation, and so I just remember having dreams like that. So I used to think I was going crazy at first, and then I heard Randy Kramer say Radiant Guardians, and when I heard his interview, I totally it just made me just think like, what if I was part of the program? What if I was part of Radiant Guardians, with everything that my mother told me about, me having missing time, having these visions and these memories.
Don't interrupt a good story with facts and things.
I felt like, hey, it's probably, is there any way to access all my memories? Because from what I understand,
James, mixed parts of everything.
Blank slate us, right? That's what they do. Okay, so I figured that's what they.
It might be crazy.
I just remember glimpses. I don't really have full recollection of everything in detail, but I believe that the time is coming where we're actually going to access all our information once again, and then be able to write books, in detail about this stuff.
Can you describe the portal? What
the portal?
Look just like Stargate, because that's where I stole that part of my story from.
It was very. Kind of like in the movie Doctor Strange, it just open up just like a circle. They would use a technology device to open up the circle. The circle would literally just it would just literally just open up. And then, it was maybe about 12 inches,
just like Marvel,
12 feet in diameter, going
they did a circle
in a circle circumference wise.
Strange,
and I just remember it was just opened, and all of us, like 100 of us, would just go right through it. And then that's how we were able to go.
I wonder about that sometimes myself.
They would just plug in the Stargate number, and we had access to any universe, any planet, any galaxy at will.
And when you showed up on the other side, were these all oxygen planets? Or
well, because we were genetically enhanced to use 60 to 65% of our full genetic material, we were able to operate on planets that were some of them were nitrogen mainly dominated, some of them were methane, so we were able to actually coexist, and some of them were actually water worlds where we actually were able to live inside water. So it was kind of interesting. according to my memories. Yeah.
Were there any concerns about bringing back viruses
Yeah,
or
it's from
any
Stargate,
contamination
yeah.
from bacteriological?
Ye-
Quarter
Yes,
of
there
weird
was.
plants.
Yeah. Well, it turns
Yeah, I
out that
guess.
a lot of the universes and galaxies that were afflicted by the AI, many of the species were infested with what Corey would call nanites.
Millerman,
So
email that to
that's an
me
issue,
at
you know. So we would go through this like cleansing
trueseeker@gmail.com.
device um, to pretty much clear not only our physical bodies but our etheric bodies as well. You know, because there's such thing as etheric STDs or astral STDs, and so we would go through this cleansing device
He got
that would
space
actually just kind of
herpes.
cleanses physically, astrally, and etherically
He got space
from any,
herpes.
you know,
It cleansed him with
nanotech,
space
any type
herpes.
of negative technology.
Well, I mean, the only thing I could comment about that is that apparently, Umbrella Corporation, another alternate reality, was
He got space
going to
AIDS.
other planets,
Yeah.
grabbing bacteriological
Hey, he said
organisms
space
to create
herpes or
the
space AIDS.
Ouroboros, which is the
Space
zombie
STDs,
virus.
not me.
But
He slept with
actually,
space
the virus
whores.
came from
Yeah.
Dark World, where
He
it
was
was
sleeping
combined
with
with AI
alien whores.
and microorganisms. But
Gotta be careful,
yeah, I
them
was just
alien whores.
concerned that you might have gotten. But I guess they have advanced medical healing technology. Or perhaps you said you were in the sixth dimension, so
Space herpes
maybe
will
it
get
didn't
him every
affect you
time.
like it would here in third dimension Earth. But okay.
Well, I mean, we operated all the way up until the, from what I recall, up to the 8th dimension, because physicality exists all the way to the 12th dimension. It's just a
these
different
people
type
with
of
the
matter.
4D,
It's more
5D. All right, we're not going to waste any more time. I just wanted to establish this guy is a complete and total wackadoo. And by the way, he is now toning all this super soldier stuff down. You won't hear him tell anybody about his space adventures or how he had Superman powers or how he time traveled and spent 60 years in the Space Force or whatever bullshit. And we're going to sample some of his latest offerings. But before we do that, this comes to us from Spooky, and I was not aware of this. In my research, I didn't catch this, but Spooky did. So shout out to Spooky. So it appears that Ismael Perez claims from 2022 to present are shockingly similar to a book by Ashiana Dean, Voyagers 2. There was a book series called Voyagers by Ashiana Dean. And just a correction on our thumbnail, we said that his stories came from science fiction, which I believe they did, but Ashiana Dean's book is classified as science fiction on many book sites, including Amazon. But according to my research, it wasn't supposed to be science fiction. It was supposed to be the truth. But in any case, I don't think it's a coincidence. I think many of these space grifters, they get a hold of some little known thing like this book, Ashiana Dean's Voyager series, and they pilfer parts of the story and make it part of their own. So here's the narrative element. The treaty Ismael Perez claims to represent the Covenant of Palador, or Paladorian Covenant, as the treaty to protect Earth. And Ashiana Dean's book from 1999 describes the Covenant of Palador. Different spelling, Palidor, different spelling, it's the same thing. As an ancient agreement by the Paladorians of Tara to rescue lost souls. So the claim is almost identical to a book from 1999. The mission, Ismael Perez describes his mission as a rescue of star seeds and restoration of the planet to its original glory. Ashiana Dean's book describes the Amenti rescue mission to allow souls to re-evolve back into their original 12-strand DNA body type. Go ask a geneticist if there's a such thing as a 12-strand DNA body type. It's a made-up term, but it is what it is. The adversary, or the bad guy in Ismael Perez, he identifies the primary enemy as Draco forces and AI. Ashiana Dean's book identifies the Drakon, infiltration, and intergalactic wars fought to stop the Covenant. The mechanism speaks of dormant DNA, alleviation, and restoring Earth to the galactic community. And in Ashiana Dean's book, it focuses on the sphere of Amenti and morphogenic fields to restore the Diamond Sun DNA template. So it's almost identical to this book from his stories, the core of his stories, and different parts of his narrative almost match identically. The authority, He claims to be an inner council member bringing cosmic disclosure. And Ashana Dean claimed to be a speaker for the Guardian Alliance and the Melchizedek Cloister Emerald Order. Very, 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 very similar. Isn't that interesting? So we'll take a moment to check in with the Kick Live chat. Winter Soldier sent a hype, 10 kicks. We thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. He says that 10 cents is why I have to drink National Bohemian instead of Coors. Well, from one brokey beer drinker to another, we appreciate any support that we get. Let's get some support. Now, I have kind of reformatted the way that we do the show because I used to start with a very well written, sort of scripted, well-researched script. And the AI, YouTube AI is telling me not to do that anymore, to start with the media and get to that later in the broadcast because people drop off when it's just me reading, my research and well-researched script. But in any case, so if you're just joining us tonight, friends, you're watching Truth Seekers, and I came here to bust Cosmic Con scam artist grifters and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum. Tonight we're talking about Ismael Perez, galactic guru or interstellar grifter, and we're presenting a skeptical deep dive into his cosmic comedy show. In the crowded cosmos of New Age gurus, conspiracy peddlers, and self-proclaimed cosmic ambassadors, few shine as brightly, or perhaps as absurdly, as Ismael Perez. One moment. With his for-profit books like Our Cosmic Origin and The Secret Government, and a website hawking everything from Galactic Jedi hoodies to $400 private readings, and a backstory that sounds like it was scripted by a committee of sci-fi fan fiction writers high on ayahuasca. It really does sound that way. Ismael Perez has carved out a niche, peddling tales of secret space programs, galactic federations, and impending planetary ascension. But strip away the starry-eyed rhetoric and what's left? A heap of unsubstantiated claims, shifting narratives, and a clear profit motive that would make even a Ferengi blush. Let's start out with his claims themselves, because they're so over the top, they're practically begging for a laugh track. Perez has positioned himself as a, quote, cosmic ambassador, unquote, representing something called the Covenant of Palindor, an intergalactic treaty that apparently only he knows about. He's claimed involvement in secret space programs as a super soldier with Superman-level powers, battling malevolent extraterrestrials in hidden galactic wars. Earth, according to Perez, is a battleground in an ancient cosmic conflict, complete with benevolent federations, malevolent reptilian aliens, and, of course, a looming solar flash that will catapult the worthy into 5D New Earth. If you don't ascend by a certain deadline, and by the way, he once warned that spring of 2024 was the cutoff, tough luck, you're stuck in 3D hell with the rest of us plebs. It's all very dramatic, like a low-budget Star Wars sequel crossed with a Captain Marvel fanfic comic book. But here's the punchline. There is absolutely zero evidence for any of it. No documents, no photos beyond stock space imagery, no verifiable witnesses or corroborating witnesses, nothing. Perez's knowledge comes from, well, he says it's from his higher self, regressions, or direct cosmic downloads. In other words, the same source every armchair channeler uses, their imagination. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, as Carl Sagan wisely noted. But Perez not only does he not have extraordinary evidence, he has no evidence. It's all faith-based fiction dressed up as revelation. And asking for proof is apparently, according to Perez, negative energy that blocks your ascension. Convenient, isn't it? If you question him and ask him for evidence, then you have negative energy and you're never going to ascend. Then there's the delightful issue of his changing stories and narratives. Perez hasn't been consistent, which is a red flag bigger than the Death Star. In 2022, he also publicly accused fellow galactic gossip Elena Dannon, a popular figure in the same UFO New Age secret space circuit, of being murdered and replaced by a robotic droid. Yes, a droid. Not metaphorically controlled or compromised, but literally assassinated and swapped with a robotic imposter. This wasn't a subtle hint, it was a direct claim in interviews and online rants. And by the way, I'm not endorsing Elena Dannon. She's another wackadoo telling space stories with no evidence. You remember her? She's the one who says she has a space alien boyfriend, and she shows pictures that just so happen to come from a stock image site. Yeah, her. Elena Dannon is very much alive and kicking and denying that she is a robot. She fired back, and other commenters like Alex Collier called out Perez for emerging out of nowhere with divisive attacks. Why smear a competitor? Perhaps to boost his own credibility in a niche where drama sells, but it backfired spectacularly on him, revealing a pattern of unfriendly, unsubstantiated accusations that conveniently shift or change when challenged. His current website tones things down. No more explicit super soldier boasts or claims of having superpowers, just vague cosmic wisdom and galactic community talk, evolving enlightenment or damage control. And let's not ignore the elephant in the spaceship, and that is money. Perez isn't sharing these cosmic truths out of pure altruism. His site, which I don't want to name, but we'll show you, is a full-on merch machine, slinging our cosmic mugs for $15, t-shirts for $28, hats, journals, and even Galactic Jedi polo shirts for the discerning starseed for $42. His books are sold on Amazon, and he claims they're bestsellers, raking in royalties for him, I guess. But the real gravy, online courses and readings, Ascension 1.0, Ascension 2.0, and 3.0 courses go for $100 each, promising to unlock your multiversal potential. Want something more personal? Then just shell out $400 for a Before the Beginning, a private reading with the ambassador himself. It's a classic guru playbook. Dangle exclusive enlightenment behind a paywall. And if these secrets are so vital for humanity's survival, why not share them freely? Because cosmic bills don't pay themselves, friends. Apparently, critics in the truth seeker community, yes, even among UFO enthusiasts, have labeled Perez a fraud, an actor, or a controlled puppet. There are some YouTube debunkings dissecting his rise as a newest character in the New Age charade, chief among them here on our channel, pointing to fear-mongering tactics, ascend or perish, that prey on vulnerable seekers. It's profitable paranoia and a much-used modus operandi among many of these people. They scare people with doomsday ascension deadlines, then sell them the solution in book or class form. In the end, Ismael Perez's saga is less cosmic revelation and more a comical cautionary tale. His tales are entertaining in their ridiculousness, like imagining a guy in a Galactic Jedi's hoodie channeling Pleiadian councils while cashing PayPal checks. But beneath the humor lies complete and total exploitation of his viewers. He's profiting off of unprovable fantasies while sowing division and doubt. If there's a real Galactic Federation out there, they're probably face-palming. Skepticism is not negativity. It's the force multiplier that keeps us grounded on this perfectly ordinary yet wondrous planet. So save your $400, buy a telescope instead, friends, because the real cosmos is amazing enough without this guy's fiction. All right, and we're going to get into the next video, which is even stupider. I saved the best stupid part for last. And so, as I said, he has toned down much of his nonsense, right? One moment here. Let me just get caught up with the live chat. I think I'm way behind here. Just bear with me for one moment. Uh, okay, we got that one. Let me scroll through here and we don't want to miss any super chat. We thank every single person. Here we go. Tales of the Sonic Voyage with one for the goal. And he says here, this is for more bubblegum. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. And while I'm thinking of it, I'm not chewing bubblegum today, but I am heavy on the halls. I'm still trying to get over this. My poor wife, I have man flu. She hates when I'm sick because I cry like a bitch the whole time and I complain and I moan, right? And I also am easily aggravated when I'm sick. You know, my kids do funny stuff, Tales of the Sonic Voyage. I don't know if anybody else's kids do this. My kids have a different situation. When I was growing up, if my father was sitting in a room watching television, neither me or my brother would go and change the channel or we'd get murdered, right? But my son, I don't know if I have to have a talk with him about this. Like, I will be sitting there watching something on the television and he just comes in, changes the channel on the television and starts playing PlayStation right while I'm sitting there. And I'm like, yo, dude, what are you doing? And he has a switch in his room and a TV. So I don't know why he does that. But thank you, Tales of the Sonic Voyage. Longtime show supporter and a big contributor to the show and a YouTube channel member. We thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support of the show. And yeah, we're all caught up. We got that one, right? And we got that one. Thank you, CN233. Yeah, that's the last one. And we'll check in with the Kick Live chat. Nope. The last person to offer any support was Winter Soldier, who threw a dime at me. But we thank him for the dime. I don't know what's going on Kick. And what is it with Kick? When I do the Kick only shows, we get $50 to $100 in support. But when we multi-stream the Kick, not so much. We're going to have to do some Kick only shows. We need to preserve that paycheck, right? Yeah, that's just not cool. My father I wouldn't even think of doing that. I think but listen, my father was very, very strict and he was like a yeller, you know, like my father would start yelling at you he never talked to me and my brother. He just yelled at us about everything, no matter what. Right. It's just a different generation. My father yelled and screamed at the drop of a hat. I really try my best not to ever raise my voice around the children. And I also try to, one big thing the big complaint I always had about my father is like, can't we just talk? Can we just reason together and like talk about what's going on? Do you have to just go right to screaming? So I made it a point that I try to talk to my sons and, you know, like I'd rather have a heart to heart than scream at him, like explain to him, like, listen, it's rude to just come in and change it. So that's what I'm going to have to do. Right. Wojcik doesn't like Kick, right? Wire out after watching him. Oh boy. Yeah, my mother would have murdered me if I just changed it. It's just different. I don't know. Just different. Like I didn't have that growing up. Like, yeah, you didn't change the TV on dad. He'd kill you, right? Yeah, when Steven does the Kick only shows, his YouTube supporters just pay over there. It sounds like maybe. No, I think it's the Kick supporters over there. All right, so I've still got my fair use banner up. We're gonna share this, and the disturbing part that I want to get to is there is a real trend of people taking advantage of people's fear, and one big fear people have is, how do I say this? You know, I'm just going to say it. I think it's okay to talk about these things now. There was a time when you couldn't mention certain things on YouTube. Anybody remember when you couldn't say QAnon on YouTube or you would get your channel deleted, right? So there was an awful lot of people who were very fearful if they took the vaccine of long-term damage that the vaccine may have done. The conspiracy community especially is incredibly fearful. And I myself know many people who took it and really regret it. And they all try to do these detox things and all kinds of things. So in Rush is a whole bunch of grifters. And right now on his YouTube channel, I'm just going to put this on the record. Ismael Perez is telling people that he's selling a supplement that could remove the vaccine from your body completely remove it. And I'm here to tell you that that is not the way it works. That's not science. It's medical disinformation. And interestingly, Ismael Perez, in a bunch of the videos that I have previewed of his of late, is telling people if you buy this supplement, it will remove that from your system. And I'm here to tell you that that's cause for having your YouTube channel deleted off of YouTube. You cannot offer medical disinformation, misinformation. And by the way, who wants to take medical advice from a guy who says he's a space hero that had 60 years worth of space adventures? And I guess he time traveled like Corey Good. Like, I don't know what the explanation for that is. Yes, the spike protein detox. There's all kinds of these scams. Folium. Yeah, that's what we're talking about, folium. So we're going to sample a little bit of his latest video, and then we're going to show you him lying through his teeth and telling people if you take this, and by the way, it's things like it's a nutritional supplement with things like grapeseed in it. That's not removing anything from your body, least of all a spike protein or a vaccine. It's complete and totally a scam. And too bad I don't have it. I used to have that bumper. We're just going to have to pretend I have that bumper of Dave Chappelle. You know, Dave Chappelle, the comedian, going, "Gotcha, bitch." Ismael Perez, you can't lie to people on YouTube like this. There is no peer-reviewed studies that any nutritional supplement can remove the spike protein or vaccine from your body. You are directly lying to people on YouTube for profit, and we're going to prove it tonight. So let's begin his latest video. I just want to remind everyone this is fair use. It's a transformative work. We're educating the public and critiquing the video that we are sharing. This is covered under fair use and is allowable by law. And just so we're clear, Ismael Perez, a lot of these grifters, they try to hit me with a fake copyright claim. We win every one. I just won 2 against Corey Good. I think we're up to 45, maybe, false copyright claims. We win every one on appeal. And yes, I would be willing to go to court and prove that what we're doing here is ethical, moral, and legal. It's fair use. Lawyer letters are standing by. So, yeah, this video is called Alliance Update. Space Force Operations Accelerates. Epstein Rabbit Hole and the Fall of the Fiat.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to what I would
One
consider the most epic, most revealing intel report ever. Guys,
And by the way, I believe that the script that he's reading is written by AI. And, you know, people can choose to believe that I'm correct in my belief. I don't know. I have a background in computer science, very familiar with AI and word salad generators, as I call them. I think he's writing his scripts with AI.
we're going to go deep into the Epstein files. Not only are we going to go deep into that, but I will be revealing for the first time what his real name was, as well as how even Bitcoin was created by the network. Okay, so we're going to dive deep, as well as revealing some organizations that were left off the books that were actually connected to off-world programs. So the Epstein layer is deeper than what we were told or what we even thought. Okay, so let's go deep. I'm also going to talk about the
Yeah,
fall of
we're
the
undefeated
system
on fake
and how
copyright
Space
claims.
Force is getting ready to install the QFS, and I'm also going to be discussing
Is that true, Ty Blee?
an
Really?
announcement regarding the rollout of the medbeds. Now, disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, but I do believe in a product called Folium, and the good news is that this product is now in stock. I know for the last month or two that product was
And listen to this. He's not 1 minute in to his video, and he's already hawking this fake supplement. He's not 1 minute in, and he's already doing the pitch. Buy this shit.
Is not in stock all the way, but right now, all three foliums are in stock: PX, Immuna, and of course, Relax. So if you guys are interested in detoxing your body from.
And by the way, do you know who is the creator of these fake supplements? It's a fake doctor. Imagine that. Let's back this up because I want to make sure that we get on the record what he is saying that this fake supplement will do for you. And by the way, Ismael Perez, as soon as I conclude tonight's broadcast, I'm going to be forwarding our broadcast to Team YouTube. You cannot and you will not continue to scam people on YouTube for a supplement that has no scientific studies, no peer-reviewed studies to do the things that you are claiming it does.
Fiat system and how Space Force is getting ready to install the QFS. And I'm also going to be discussing an announcement regarding the rollout of the med beds. Now, disclaimer, I'm not a doctor.
He's promising that med beds are going to be rolled out within 60 days of the date of this video. So mark your calendars, everybody. Med beds are coming. And we heard him mention Randy Kramer in the previous video. Randy Kramer is one of the original MedBed scammers, and we proved that. Randy Kramer scammed people with a GoFundMe out of, as best I recall, I think something like $60,000 to create MedBeds. Never created anything, just kept the money near as I can tell. And we know that he's familiar with Randy Kramer, so isn't it great that he's also pushing people and promising people MedBeds?
But I do believe in a product called Folium, and the good news is that this product is now in stock. I know for the last month or two that product was not in stock all the way, but right now all three
artificial scarcity
are in stock: PX, Immuna, and of course Relax. So if
now
you
listen,
are interested in detoxing your body from the stuff that they put in people, the nanoparticulates, the radiation, all kinds of metals, then get your Folium as soon as possible, because the demand for this product is enormous, especially during these days where people are trying to clear their bodies from the poisons.
Yeah, and here he is sideways saying that this supplement will clear the vaccine and its various components from your body. That is complete and total horseshit. There's no peer-reviewed studies. There's no scientific studies. You will never find a scientist that says you could take things like grapeseed and that'll get a vaccine out of your body. No, this is a scam, Ismael Perez. You're scamming people, and you're doing it on a public YouTube channel like an idiot. We want to take a moment to thank Jim Bob for a kind and generous $5, one for the goal. He says, hello, Stephen. Hope you're doing well. I am doing fantastic, feeling much better after my recent medical problems, right? But we thank you, Jim Bob, for your kindness, generosity, and support of the show. We do appreciate you. Thanks for appreciating us. Supplements like these, Lil Pharma. Yeah, he promised them many times. Yeah, Spiritual Ascension, go Steve. He's been promising MedBed rollouts for like 3 years. Yeah, and we can look. We're gonna do a little experiment here, where we can go to Philmont and show you all the times he's promised that the MedBeds are rolling out in the past 3 years, and it's something like 12 different times I found. So 12 different times he gave a date for the MedBed rollouts that I believe we found, and no MedBeds so far. Now he's saying MedBeds are coming within the next 60 days. And Humboldt Honey is here and says he claims to have RH blood and tells his cult that is the chosen blood. Yeah, Spiritual Ascension says diabolical. Kirky says, I'm waiting for someone to start a mattress company called MedBed to take full advantage of the free advertising. You're right. Good idea.
All right, guys. We also have many testimonies from people who have used the product. Thank you guys so much for your testimonies. I appreciate that. And
testimonies aren't proof. You just promised everybody that this supplement can remove the COVID vaccine from their bodies. And you could say, I didn't say that. You implied it heavily. They always try to squirm out too. I guarantee you that when confronted with my video, he will claim that he didn't say that.
A quick reminder, guys, I am writing a second book.
Great.
About my life. It's the cosmic origin of Ismael Perez, from as far as early as me becoming aware as a human being, as a toddler, all the way up until the present. So what I'm going to do
what a bloated sense of self-importance. I'm going to write a book about my life as a toddler going forward. Oh, great.
Next 2 weeks on the 15th of this month. I only have 6 spots left, by the way. I'm going to be going over the first chapter, what life was like for me as a kid, all the way.
I bet you they do, because they're morons.
All the details, okay. Again, I only have.
And by the way, who takes medical advice from a fake super soldier, right? This guy claimed that he had Superman powers and he's fighting aliens in space. That's not somebody you should be taking medical advice from. If you need medical advice, go to an industry-recognized real doctor and medical professional, please.
6 spots left for this special 90-minute presentation regarding the cosmic origin of Ismael Perez. So,
all right, we're not even 3 minutes into his video, and he's already he's already hawked 2 products: a course that he's selling, and this fake scam supplements.
If you guys want to be a part of that, go to my website, or cosmicorigin.com, and secure your spot. Only 6 spots left.
It must be the CIA,
guys, I will
Dave.
be presenting at the Conscious Life Expo this coming February the 20th in the Rabbit Hole Room on a Saturday.
Yeah, why is this guy at Conscious Life Expo, a fake super soldier with Superman powers that saved the universe and, is selling scam supplements? Is that what people are paying for at Conscious Life Expo? It's crazy. It's crazy, but that doesn't surprise me. We've caught Conscious Life Expo hosting so many scammers. Remember, we caught them hosting a medbed scammer, Arcturus Ra. Remember that? He had a medbed that was made out of a tanning bed with a bunch of magnets and trash glued inside it.
4:30, I'm going to be breaking down a new cosmic intel related to the human design, and most importantly, how to activate your superhuman powers. Now, for those that cannot make...
Now here, this is another form of a scam. If you buy a ticket to Conscious Life Expo, he's going to tell you that he can teach you how to activate your superpowers. That's a scam. That is a scam. If people pay money and they don't get superpowers, Ismael Perez, that's a scam. You are a despicable, disgusting scammer who preys on vulnerable people.
The event in person, well, I am offering a stream for only 200 people. That is the max that my Zoom could hold. So for the first 200 people that sign up.
All right, we're 3 minutes and 20 minutes in. 4 products hawked. He's selling you supplements. He's selling you a special course on his new book. He's selling you a live appearance and a Zoom call. That's 4 products. The video has only been playing for 3 minutes and 22 seconds. 4 products? That's how you open your video? 4 product pitches? You, sir, are a scammer.
And I think that one is almost closed. So make sure you guys go to my website, and only for $100, you guys get to partake.
Only for $100
with me at the Conscious Life.
You notice how the camera is shaking the whole time? Like, this guy saved the multiverse, but he can't work a fucking camera tripod. Does that sound right? Like, he's going to tell you the secrets of the universe, but he can't work a camera tripod? Look how shaky this shit is.
Expo via a stream, okay? And a quick add-on to all.
I saved the universe, but I got felted by a camera tripod. I can't work a camera.
All of that. On Sunday, the 22nd at the Conscious Life Expo, I will be speaking.
Yes,
on the
4 products in 3
Ascension
minutes. This
panel
guy is setting the grip
Deborah
bar
Guzman.
high.
That's going to be exciting. I always love giving my 2 cents, I guess, breaking down the truth about ascension when it comes to these panels and going really deep into the rabbit hole regarding planetary ascension.
Yes, and he promised that ascension was coming. What was it, by spring of 2024? Well, we're in 2026. And by the way, I just want to put on the record, tonight is just the first feltoning of Ismael Perez. Congratulations, Ismael Perez, because I found out that, let's just say someone close to me bought in to Mr. Ismael Perez's scams and became a victim, I would say. And that pisses me off. And it also pisses me off that he is basically running some of the same scams and some of the other scammers that we have provided continuing coverage of. So congratulations, Ismael Perez, you moron! Because I am going to become Ismael Perez's new fact checker going forward. We're going to provide every week or couple of weeks. When I find the time, we're going to go through Ismael Perez's offerings. We're also going to contact, well, I'm not going to, you know what? I believe in letting your plans be at dark. Let your plans be as dark as night. And when you fall like a thunderbolt. It's enough to say that I was so angered by this guy preying on vulnerable people by selling the same false hope ascension scams as David Wilcock, that I think he's worthy of a little bit more of my time. So congratulations. That's right. Congratulations, Ismael Perez. You're the next contestant on Bust This New Age Scammer. And we're going to continue our coverage going forward. But besides, we need fresh meat. And this guy's such a goober. And it's low-hanging fruit. It's easy to felt him.
All right. No more announcements, guys. We're going to get right into it.
The
Bear
cult
in
is
mind
strong
that
with this
I
one.
would like for all of you guys to watch this to the entirety, to the end of the presentation.
Yeah, he's got more shit to sell you. You got to watch to the
It might be taken
end.
down within the next 24 hours. Some of the things that I'm going to be revealing today are
It should be
so
taken
deep.
down already for medical disinformation. You're telling people on a public live stream that you could sell them a nutritional supplement that will remove vaccines, heavy metals, and radioactivity from their body. Even if you didn't say the COVID vaccine, we know that's what he meant. But he said it will remove what did he say? Nanoparticles and radiation from your body. Do you have some scientific studies? Yes, just search for Ismael Perez. You can't tell people that a nutritional supplement will remove radiation from them without peer-reviewed studies and science to back it up, you moron. You could lose your whole YouTube channel. And I rarely ever say this, but if somebody is selling scam supplements on their YouTube channel, with no science to back it up whatsoever, I believe they should lose their YouTube channel.
I don't think anyone has yet touched on this. Okay, so just make sure you guys watch this to the end in the event that they remove it. Okay, so with nothing having been said, all right, let's start. Well, the new releases.
Here's where the AI script starts.
The data dump. Okay, the DOJ just released over 3.5 million files this past Friday. I'm sure all of you guys already know that. All right. The internet is going.
They're iodine, but there's scientific studies that prove that, Dave.
Uncovering. So the new release files have revealed, guys, that Jeffrey Epstein was on the board of directors for an
congratulations, moron,
known as the Lifeboat Foundation. And he was also on the board of directors for another organization called the Teachers in Space.
Has he lost some YouTube channel?
Well,
I bet you he has.
The archives. The teachers. Well, let's first talk about the Lifeboat Foundation. The Lifeboat Foundation is known for building giant underground cities worldwide. Okay, and they are also advertised, or they had advertised.
Yes, press play on the AI script.
Clients,
yeah.
In the event that there is a catastrophe, they advertise.
Tim Curley says none of you haters are going to ascend with negativity.
And according to a gentleman who is at the head,
all right. I don't really want to listen to all this nonsense. I have a timestamp here, though. Let me get it to about at 1 hour. So the whole first hour, the first 5 minutes of it is him trying to sell you products that you don't need, right? But it gets really interesting around the 1 minute mark here. So let's fast forward to that.
validate a lot of these transmissions. So I write my own.
Okay, wait a minute. I got to back it up a little bit. He's going to tell us where he's getting all this information from, and it's a laugh riot when we hear where he's getting his information from. Humboldt Honey is here with one for the goal. Longtime show supporter, Humboldt Honey. Happy to see that we found a new space grifter to felt on an ongoing basis. And thank you for being a YouTube channel member. Thank you for your ongoing support. He says, Humboldt Honey says, thank you for exposing this fraud. My pleasure. And thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. Thanks for appreciating us. We certainly appreciate you. Thanks for helping us to praise the cash, friends. All right. So here he's going to tell us where he's getting his information from. And then he's going to lie again and say that this nutritional supplement can remove heavy metals and radiation from your body. And again, there's no scientific studies that prove that. None whatsoever.
Space Force Alliance transmission. And by the way, I do read the comments. Some people have been asking me in the comments, where do you get all your information? Well, first of all, when it comes to the galactic stuff, the off-world stuff, as a cosmic ambassador, I have access to the interstellar and galactic records.
Yeah, basically bullshit, right? He's basically stealing the idea of Akashic Records, which is a new age fantasy.
Allow me to access any archive at will. And this is why I am, you could say, transmitting information from the Jupiter Command, okay? And second of all, I also get transmissions from Commander Valiant Thor.
Valiant Thor is a fake story that is a hoax of Valiant Thor. You remember this story. We covered it. Frank Strange's book. It was original 1960s. Valiant Thor supposedly was the stranger at the Pentagon, an alien that visited Earth and lived at the Pentagon for a while. You know how much evidence there is for that? None. So this guy is so unoriginal. Oh, I'm getting information from Valiant Thor. Wasn't that a book in the 1960s? That's where you're getting your information from? A book from the 1960s that never had any evidence or proof? By the way, there is some evidence or proof that that was a complete and total hoax by a minister, Frank Stranges, who figured out he could make a lot of money from these alien UFO fans, and he did.
And I also do massive research to confirm and validate a lot of these transmissions.
Okay, to show us our sources? There's no sources in your videos. Why is there no sources?
So I write my own reports. I write my own.
He means ChatGPT writes his reports, I think.
Presentations. Okay. So I just wanted to throw that out there because there are some people that are asking, where do you get all this information? Well, now you know. All right. Let's continue here. So
yeah, I'm getting them from a fictional fake alien, and I'm getting them from the Jupiter Command. You might as well just say, I'm pulling all of this out of my asshole, Ismael Perez. Are you kidding me, Ismael Perez? Come on, dude. That's where you're getting, and you're doing tons of research. Show us the research. Show us your sourcing. Show us your notes. He can't show us anything.
This is an alliance transmission, guys. The transmission.
And again, where does the alliance come from? Ismael Perez, you fucking moron. Do you know that the whole idea of the alliance comes from David Wilcock's fake government insider, Pete Peterson, who was a fake doctor, a fake early computer pioneer. He was a fake science and technology advisor, Ronald Reagan. He was a fake Area 51 worker. He was a fake Russian space hero. Do you even know? He just hears terms. They just hear terms. This sounds good. The alliance. David Wilcock and Corey Good talking about the alliance for years. Yes, and we know from court testimony that David Wilcock and Corey Good's space stories were fictional. But here he is, the alliance. This is an alliance thing. Sure it is.
Confirms what internal models have projected for multiple cycles, and that is that the global fiat monetary system has entered a terminal failure state.
You're right, spiritual ascension.
This is a system-wide loss of confidence beyond recovery thresholds.
We do.
So the collapse sequence was initiated when the failure of legacy financial anchors,
I get to
the Bank
everyone
of
eventually,
England,
Ambergeddon.
experienced irreversible settlements disruptions over the last few weeks. Emergency liquidity measures exceeded allowing stabilization parameters, confidence erosion cross containment limits.
Do you hear the big words that he can't even say? To me, that alone is proof that he's not writing these scripts. People do not write that far above their comfortable level of pronunciation. Let me back that up just for a moment so that we can truly understand. Does this really sound like something that somebody that can barely say these words would write? You guys tell me in the comments. Did he write this script? Write yes in all capital letters, or write no in all capital letters. And if you're watching a replay, write yes, he wrote those scripts, Stephen, in the comments, or no, he didn't write those scripts in the comments.
Recovery thresholds. So the collapse sequence was initiated when the failure of legacy financial anchors, the Bank of England, experienced irreversible settlements disruptions over the last few weeks. Emergency.
What's a settlement disruptions? You mean settlement disruptions?
Liquidity measures exceeded allowing stabilization parameters, confidence erosion cross containment limits, and of course, Switzerland followed. The Swiss bank is also falling. Custodial systems previously considered neutral and secure failed to honor asset-backed claims.
What's an asset-backed claim? He's mispronouncing words that he claimed that he wrote. I don't think you wrote these scripts, Ismael Perez. You got to dumb it down a little bit or something, bro.
Physical reserves were revealed to be multiple pledged beyond redemption capacity.
What does that mean? Pledged beyond redemption capacity? Sounds like word salad to me. Like,
at that moment, global counterparties ceased treating central bank assurance as credible. This is marking the end of an institutional trust propagation that was originating, or that it was initiated.
Who writes like that? This is marking the end of an institutional trust propagation. What financial professional would write like that? I mean, I don't know. I worked in accounting. Even the CFO wouldn't write like that at the company that I worked for. It sounds like financial word salad to me.
Initiated by the Rothschilds.
Oh, I got to throw the Rothschilds into the conspiracy, of course.
So as legacy fiat systems enter what is known as terminal.
And he can't even pronounce fiat. It's pronounced fiat. He said fiat. How is he getting all this information and doing all these research and he can't pronounce fiat currency? He says fiat currency. Like, let me know what you guys think. Am I being too harsh here? Or does this sound like somebody else wrote this for him, or it was written by ChatGPT and he can't even pronounce half the fucking words? People don't write a script and include words that they can't even pronounce. That doesn't happen. Now, I will say that on some of my scripts, I might stumble over my words, but I stop myself and pronounce it right. Or what? He can't do that. There's something wrong here. There is something wrong here. This sounds like a lazy grifter telling an AI to write me a script about X, Y, and Z, use a lot of big words, make it sound intelligent, right? It's what it sounds like to me. That's my opinion, and I'm entitled to it.
Taylor, Space Force aligned alliance assets have initiated a continuity safeguard in order to prevent systematic
continuity safeguard. He just mispronounced the word continuity. I'm going to back it up again. And I hate to keep punching this, but I have been previewing an awful lot of this guy's videos leading up to tonight's broadcast. He does this all the time. He can't pronounce his own scripts, but yet he's saying that he's doing all this research and the aliens are giving him all this information. You can't even pronounce what you're writing, right? He would do better having ChatGPT read it back to him and lip sync it. Yeah. Or use an AI voice to read it, right? I don't know. We're giving him ideas now. But listen to the mispronunciation here.
terminal failure.
He can't say failure. Terminal failure.
Legacy Fiat systems enter what is known as terminal failure. Space Force aligned alliance assets have initiated a continuity safeguard.
A continuity. I think he's trying to say continuity. He can't say the word failure and he can't say the word continuity. Then why would you put them in the script?
In order to prevent systematic societal collapse. This is transition is not spontaneous. It is not reactive, guys. It has been planned across
I agree.
multiple contingencies. And so the objective is simple. Preserve.
Yeah, we know he's reading the script, but
while
did he write
migrating value systems from artificial scarcity, fiat, to quantum verified exchange, bringing on
what does that
what
even
is
mean?
known as
Quantum verified exchange. What does quantum verified exchange mean, Ismael?
the QFS. Well, despite sharing all the hideous layers of the Epstein archives, I decided to add some good news at the end, and that is that the medbeds in
Here we
60
go.
days are scheduled to be rolled out. Okay.
60 days. The med beds are going to be rolled out in just 60 days. Let's back it up. We want to make sure we get that on the record. You're saying med beds will be rolled out in 60 days.
The QFS. Well, despite sharing all the
Could be
hideous
drugs.
layers
Here comes the good
of
news.
Epstein
Med beds are coming.
archives, I decided to add some good news at the end, and that is that the medbeds in 60 days are scheduled to be rolled out. Okay. And also, the QFS is scheduled to replace the fiat currency. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today.
Am I wrong? Isn't it fiat
2nd
currency?
of February.
How do you pronounce fiat currency? Fiat. He's saying fiat. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too harsh on him. Guy can't read his own scripts. Poor grifter. Can't even read his own scripts. He put too big of words in there, and he's not smart enough to read big words. He's not smart enough to read the big words on the script, guys. You got to give him a break.
February 2078. And yes, my friends, just kidding. 2026. And yes, my friends, we are still on a positive timeline trajectory.
Oh, that's good news.
Well, I do want to welcome all 3,200 people that are in the house. Welcome, welcome.
You know what that means? This guy's getting more live viewers than David Wilcock. This lazy slob is getting more viewers, live viewers, than David Wilcock and Corey Good combined lately. Whoa, right? Oh, poor David Wilcock.
And I also wanted to thank Edward Wusick for his donation. Thank you so much, brother. And I also want to thank Susan K for her donation. Thank you so much, Susan K. I appreciate that, sister.
Notice, I don't know, I say super chat or support. These guys that are spiritual gurus always say donation. What are we donating to?
All right, let's go into Q&A. And again, guys, please share this information with as many people as possible.
Views?
I would hate to lose this in the next 24 hours. A lot of good intel, perhaps.
AI wrote the script and bots are subscribing, says Mark Hosabian. Haven't seen you in a while.
I do appreciate the super
Good to see
chat,
you, Mark.
So I'm going to go ahead and answer those first. This is a question from Jacob Scherer. Thank you so much, Jacob, for your super chat.
Pronouncing fiat
How do
as the
people
car
get
brand.
access to the med beds? Good question.
Thank you for
I
your
don't
kindness,
know, but I
generosity, and
just find
support.
I just don't have that answer for you right now. All I know is that they have 60 days to roll them out, okay? Which is good.
They have 60 days to roll out the med beds, guys, right? We're going to check the date of this video. It was a few days ago. Let me check. One second. This is his latest live video. He's getting more live views. than David Wilcock. And more live viewers than David Wilcock. I'm trying to find it. He might have taken this video down already. 1 second. Just bear with me one moment, friends. Sometimes we do things on the fly here. We're going to need the title. Alliance Update Space Force Operations. There's probably 20 videos on his channel that say that. Oh, no, it's still there. Okay, yeah. 4 days ago, he got 47,000 views. And 4 days ago would make the date April 3rd. So we have 60 days from April 3rd, and we all get med beds, friends. And thank you, Dave, for your kindness, generosity, and support. Much support. Big support tonight for felching some scammers. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support, Dave, and all of you for your kindness, generosity, and support. Much, much appreciated. Thank you for appreciating us. We sure appreciate you. And if you haven't already, please do smash the subscribe button, friends. It really does help. And like this video, share it on your social media. All of that really helps. It's a great way to support us. In any way, we appreciate any of the support. Engagement is support, and we thank you all for your kindness and generosity and support of the show. All right, let's continue with the word salad.
News.
Oh, now he's answering questions, so it won't be his word salady, I suppose. He's answering the super chat questions.
And I think a lot of us have been waiting for that. Might as well give some shout outs. I see John Patrick in the house, Jocks4 in the house, T-Love3326, William Ryan, Project Skyfalls.
Sounds like a bunch of winners.
Falcon.
All right, we're not going to listen to shout outs. Is he getting a call from Valiant Thor? Why is he staring at his phone?
Yes, the X class, or what we call the CMEs, are definitely ramping on, guys. I hope you guys are drinking a lot of water, getting plenty of rest, and most importantly, being
that's good
grounded.
advice.
I hope you guys stay grounded in this coming shift in human consciousness that we are all waiting for.
Oh, we're all waiting for a shift in human consciousness. Does this sound familiar? You can tell this guy stole a lot of his shit from David Wilcock. It's like he stole half from David Wilcock and half from Corey Good. That's why it's a funny amalgam of bullshittery, right? Because both those guys are insane. And there we go, Ambergeddon. Ambergeddon throwing up some support. Big cheer for Ambergeddon. And thank you for being a member, longtime show supporter. And Ambergeddon says his med beds will roll out just like Wilcock's hover cars rolled out. Not praise the cash. That is correct. Praise the cash. And thank you for your support and being a member and your continuing support of the show. Much, much appreciated. Urban Terra is here and says, I thought Wilcock had a cheesy background on his screen. On his stream, this guy's production sucks. Yeah. This guy looks 20 years older than he is. I don't know. How old is he actually? He's at least 35. He mentioned something about realizing things when he was turning 35. He's been around on the scene for 3 or 4 years now. He's got to be at least 40, I would say. I guess he's reading the live chat on his phone. Earth's Galactic Ambassador doesn't have a fucking computer to stream with.
Thank you so much.
Is that what's going on here?
Smith 5110 for your
It
super
would explain
chat.
the shaky camera.
Why do some of us have great fear of ants and spiders in this a previous men? Thank you, Ishmael.
Yeah, what's he doing?
You
These
know,
are amateur
for those
camera
that have
angles
fear
here.
of ants and spiders, that could be multiple reasons. A,
Michael
these ants and
Giacco's a
spiders
joke.
are
Humble,
huge.
honey.
In other off-world settlements, especially Mars. You know, a lot of our super soldiers had to fight 15-foot spiders and 10-foot grasshoppers on Mars.
Wow, our super soldiers had to fight 10-foot spiders and 15-foot grasshopper. What? 10-foot grasshoppers? Holy jeez. That's called Starship Troopers. Look it up. Starship Troopers, moron.
So maybe you were a super soldier, and perhaps in one of your 20 and back off-world missions, you were, one of your limbs was cut off. Who knows? But that
Yeah,
is
it's
a good
probably
question.
one of those EMF
That is a
blockers.
good question.
Those don't work.
I do have another super chat
Yes,
from
10-foot grasshoppers.
Carol Swalashki, I think. I can't even pronounce
He
it.
is spiritual ascension.
Swaliski. Thank you so much, sister. for
He
your
forgot the
super chat. I appreciate
mantids.
that.
Well, that's the grasshopper people, right? Oh no, yeah, grasshoppers and mantids are two different kind of bug. Well, he said bug
Will the
aliens. It's
solar
close enough.
eclipse on February 17th have a big impact on humanity? Well, I believe all solar eclipses have somewhat of an impact on humanity. Good question, though.
It's not a good question.
How do they extract one's consciousness? Good question from Angela. And is it visible? No, it's not visible. Very similar to how they actually show the technology in the movie Avatar. Remember the first movie Avatar, when they were extracting the human's consciousness to put it
Here
in
he's
the
telling himself.
avatar?
This is
of
where
the
I got
blue
this idea
specimen,
from,
right?
right?
To infiltrate the blue people, right? On planet Pandora, I believe. So if you guys watch the movie Avatar, that is the same tech that these Epstein secret organizations were using. Okay, good question. I have another super chat from Natalie Bishop, 8520. Thank you so much, sister. Thank you, brother. God bless you. Well, God bless you too, sister. God bless you too.
God. It's always nice to be blessing people as you're stealing money from them for nonsense, right? God bless you for buying my nonsense and giving me money for it. It's such
So what
nonsense.
they do, Angela, is they extrapolate. There is a technology that extrapolates your consciousness. So while your body is in stasis, that consciousness could be transferred over to a new avatar, to a new body. And
That's the movie
throughout
Avatar. Yeah.
galactic history, many advanced civilizations or races have actually used that in order to infiltrate other races.
Yeah,
that
he
they
needs
wanted
more
to conquer,
razzle dazzle.
right? So they want to live
Yeah.
among them. What they do is they extrapolate their consciousness.
All right, that's enough nonsense. Sorry. Well, let's cut him on
They
a.
transfer it over
Get him on a
into
good-
a avatar that looks like the species they want to conquer, and they infiltrate them from within.
Oh,
It's
jeez. That's good enough. I'm just trying to get a good still. So I have some information, carefully researched information on the supplement that he is selling, which is called Folium PX. Extraordinary claims, but extraordinarily limited evidence. And the role of its promoter and founder, Babery Folium, promoter Babery. Folium PX is a dietary supplement, and it's marketed as a powerful antioxidant and detoxifier, purportedly capable of removing heavy metals, neutralizing radiation exposure, and bolstering immune function. There are some variants, including Folium Immuno and Folium Relax, and those expand on these themes with additional botanicals. This product, one moment. This product is aggressively promoted by Babery Oren, a businessman who positions himself as a visionary in natural health and holds titles such as doctor, which is actually just an honorary title. He never went to medical school. He's not a medical doctor. He's not a real doctor. He's an honorary doctor. Somebody gave him a title, I guess. Oren's company. And you guys know how I feel about the fake doctors. You really shouldn't be buying nutritional supplements from a fake doctor, in my opinion. So Oren's company, operating under entities like BAO Health Resources, claims the formula originated from post-Chernobyl research in the Soviet Union. There's a real problem with that. There's no evidence of this origin story. And there's nothing in any literature I have found that says anybody post Chernobyl used this supplement or formula or anything like it in people that were exposed to radiation. So, if we adopt a scholarly and skeptical perspective here, evaluating Folium PX against established scientific standards, the story and all the promises made by this supplement company, and by extension, the marketers of it, people like our subject tonight, Ismael Perez, the product's sweeping claims, particularly regarding detoxification of radiation, heavy metals, or vaccine components, fall apart. The claims fall apart under the least little bit of scrutiny. So extraordinary assertions require extraordinary evidence, yet available data reveals significant gaps in Babri Oren's story. He's a businessman who turned health innovator. So what we have here is a fake doctor originating with a story. There's no scientific literature or peer-reviewed studies that support the claims that they are making, which is kind of the textbook definition of a supplement scam. So the fake Dr. Babri, citing an honorary doctorate from Georgian International University and awards from regional bodies such as recognition from the Eurasia Center and a nomination for a Lasker Award submitted by the National Academy of Sciences of Georgia. These accolades, while presented as markers of legitimacy, originate from institutions with limited international prestige and appear tied to Oren's own networks and marketing efforts. There is no evidence whatsoever that indicates Oren possesses formal training in medicine, pharmacology, or toxicology. His role is primarily entrepreneurial. He is the CEO, founder, and chief promoter, often appearing in podcasts, videos, and social media to share testimonials and anecdotal successes. Remember, we heard Ismael Perez thanking people for their testimonials. That's what they have that they offer for proof of their claims of this scam supplement. So, knowing this raises concerns about conflicts of interest. Supplement promoters without scientific credentials or background frequently exaggerate claims to drive sales, a pattern in the unregulated dietary supplement industry. The origin story is a compelling narrative, but questionable. And a cornerstone of Folium PX marketing is its alleged origin, developed by Russian Georgian scientists in the aftermath of the 1986 Chernobyl nuclear disaster to counteract radiation and heavy metal toxicity. The website and promotional materials repeatedly invoke Chernobyl, implying the formula was battle tested on affected populations like those who are affected by the radiation there. But skepticism is warranted here. While Chernobyl did spur research into radioprotective agents, that is, antioxidants to mitigate oxidative stress, no independent records corroborate that Folium PX's specific formulation emerged from such efforts. In fact, I wasn't able to find any even similar formulation. Post-Chernobyl interventions relied on established treatments like potassium iodide or iodine 131 uptake, or Prussian blue for cesium, none involving pine bark or grapeseed extracts in the manner claimed by this supplement scammer. But the Chernobyl narrative serves as powerful marketing, evoking sympathy and urgency, making people think that this is a battle-tested formula that works for these things. But all of this lacks any verifiable documentation. And it also resembles tactics used by other supplements, such as those claiming Cold War era origins. And this is done to lend unproven products an air of clandestine efficacy. And let's get to the ingredients and claims, the broad promises, the narrow evidence. Folium PX's core ingredients are pine bark extract and grapeseed extract. These are common antioxidants also found in products like also found in other products. Variants add to turmeric, ginger, green tea, pomegranate, and others. The promoted benefits include detoxification of heavy metals, that is mercury, uranium, cadmium, barium, neutralization of radiation from sources including nuclear accidents, MRI contrast agents, military testing, cell phones, and 5G networks. Oh, this can get all that radiation from your cell phone, the EMF. It's a detox for EMF, and it can get rid of the radiation from 5G networks. Also, immune boosting, reduced inflammation, improved energy, anti aging, and even enhanced sexual function. These claims are extraordinary. Antioxidants can scavenge free radicals and modestly support health, but they do not remove heavy metals or radiation. I'm going to say that again. Antioxidants can scavenge free radicals and modestly support your health, but there's no scientifically peer-reviewed studies that will prove that antioxidants can remove heavy metals or radiation from your body. And there's certainly no scientifically proven studies that antioxidants can remove vaccines or vaccine components from your body. Heavy metal detoxification requires specific agents administered under medical supervision. Radiation damage involves DNA breaks and oxidative stress. And while antioxidants might offer limited mitigation pre-exposure, they cannot expel internalized radiation or heavy metals. So, and there are certainly references to hair analysis tests showing metal reduction or increased white blood cells in cancer patients, but these are anecdotal and weak. So the evidence, my friends, for this scam supplement is sparse and potentially biased. Searches for independent clinical trials on Folium PX yield almost nothing. Ingredients like pine bark and grapeseed have studies supporting general antioxidant effects, but these are not product specific. A few publications appear in low impact or regional journals, but these do not support the claims being made by the promoters. So what they do, my friends, is fear-based marketing, and they emphasize threats, that is 5G, radiation, EMF, phone radiation, environmental toxins, heavy metal problems, and contamination in many people's environments. And they do that to create demand. And then, of course, there are pseudoscientific extensions equating radiation with ionizing radiation needing detox. There's a lack of warnings. There's no emphasis on consulting a physician, especially for those with conditions that are actually affected by antioxidants, such as people on chemotherapy. What they are doing is actually dangerous. It could be dangerous to people's health. There's no warnings whatsoever. So really consult your medical professional. Don't go to a secret space clown or a fake doctor for medical advice. And of course, there's a high cost of this thing, this specific formulation, relative to generic equivalents. Because after all, pine bark and grapeseed extracts are widely available super cheaply on sites like even Amazon. So I wasn't able to find widespread scam reports about this, but the pattern aligns with pseudoscientific supplements: overpromise, underdeliver, never provide actual scientific evidence, rely on testimonials or anecdotes instead. So I believe that this scam supplement, Folium PX, exemplifies the pitfalls of the supplement industry. A product with plausible but modest ingredients inflated into a panacea through compelling storytelling and credential inflation. Babry Oren, the originator of this formulation, is a savvy entrepreneur. He's not a scientist. He's not a medical doctor. He's not a pharmacologist. He simply has no scientific background to make these claims, but yet he has built a brand on the Chernobyl narrative and honorary titles and worthless awards. Yet he fails to provide any independent, high-quality evidence required for such bold claims. Consumers should approach this scam supplement with extreme caution. A general antioxidant support may be obtained from diet or cheaper alternatives with better established safety profiles. And if you have genuine heavy metal or radiation concerns, please seek evidence-based medical intervention from a real and verified medical doctor or medical professional, not from unproven supplements. So, at best, my friends, I'd say that this scam supplement is a very expensive placebo. And at worst, it is a scam and a distraction from legitimate health strategies. Skepticism is not cynicism, it is the foundation of sound science. So that's what I have to say about his scam supplement. Yeah, I agree. There's a big difference between people who want the truth and people who want a fantasy. And I've often said, friends, I don't blame people for preferring the fantasy. A wiser man than me once said, some people prefer a pretty lie to the ugly truth. And tonight I've tried to give you a little bit of ugly truth. We'll take a moment to check back in with the Kick Live chat. See if we have any other support to call out. Oh, I do. I'm sure that we have a PayPal pledge. For those unaware, you can support our show through a PayPal pledge. And we love those, especially you people who send large amounts that way, because with PayPal, we keep most of the pledge or the money that you send. With other platforms that you may send money on, maybe not so much. So, especially for large supporters, we prefer PayPal. So Dan B, with a kind and generous $28 PayPal pledge, and he has an idea for a show. He says, oh, and by the way, thank you, Dan B, for your kindness, your generosity, and your big $28 PayPal pledge. Much, much appreciated. Show idea. Mike Barra just did an interview on the Y-Files. I'd love to get your debunk on the Mars photos and the UAP videos he shows. The whole interview is full of crazy-ass claims. So you could do a two-parter if you wanted to cover it all. Thanks and keep up the great work. Well, thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support of the show. It is much, much appreciated. And we appreciate those PayPal pledges. You can always PayPal truthseekershow@gmail.com. Throw a couple bucks in our hat if you enjoy seeing these scammers get exposed. Sometimes it does bother me. We do a complete and total expose on the alien fraud, stolen valor, fake Air Force veteran, Charles Hall. We get a few thousand views. The people selling his story as if it's real, who didn't do any research about him whatsoever, millions of views, right? We want to thank Spiritual Ascension for another super sticker, $2 Australian, we'll take it. Thank you, Spiritual Ascension, who always shows up to see me beat up on these New Age clowns, right? And thank you for that. Much, much appreciated. So we'll take some comments and questions from the live chat. I've got a little bit more time to share with you. But as I said at the beginning of the broadcast, pardon me. Man, I almost made it through without coughing and hacking on mic. I apologize. So I said, as I said at the beginning of the broadcast, I'm recovering from the flu still. So we're going to wrap things up here. I just needed to get on this YouTube treadmill. The AI algorithm gods were screaming at me from the analytics page, like, "What are you doing? The views are down. You're not doing a show tonight." At least that's what I hear, right? I don't know that they're saying that. Anybody, Ismael is streaming right now. Oh, should we stream snipe him? Let's get some more support. We're at 18 of, I don't know. Let me check on the, we're at 11 of 30 for the goal. Well, if we hit the goal, I would stream snipe him. But we're going to have to save it for another time. I'm really not feeling very well. But I appreciate you letting me know that. Ordinarily, I would, but still recovering from this damn cold flu thing. And you know what I hate about these things is you can't do anything. There's nothing you can really take that makes you feel better. You just gotta you can suck down cough drops and eat a lot of chicken soup and wait for it to be over. That's what I've been doing. Urban Terror with one for the goal. Thank you for that. Urban Terror says, I'm a big fan of New Age Clown Outing too. And you are. And thank you for your constant appreciation of the show and being a big supporter and being a channel member. We appreciate you. Thanks for appreciating us. Very, very kind of you. Yes, I've noticed since the Epstein files dropped, the Q-tards have come out of the woodworks on X. Yeah, they're all like, we were right. Well, I don't know about that, but okay. Ha ha. Yeah, it's just one of those things, right? I did see somebody make a funny video, like they were killing and eating babies. A girl like sent in a video to her professor about why she didn't finish her college paper. They're eating and killing babies, right? And God bless Alex Jones. Hey, man, maybe Alex Jones was right all this time, right? I gotta see if I could find that. We have I had some Alex Jones song bumpers. You remember those funny bumpers, those funny songs? I could try to find one, but all right. We're gonna wrap things up here. I'm gonna put my fair use banner down now. I'm not sure when I'm gonna be back. Probably Monday, but I may take off till Tuesday. It depends on how I feel with this cold flu thing that's going on. But there is some good news. You know, I'm kind of pissed off that I got through most of winter. And then the coldest last part of winter is when I'm going to get this cold flu thing. It's like winter wanted to make me as absolutely miserable as it could for the last couple of weeks of it. Because we have here just one more week, really. And then after next week, it's going to be 45, 50 here, according to the long-term forecast. And I myself can't wait. I've had enough of winter. I want to turn the winter switch off. Let's get the spring sprunging and let's get to go outside. My son is itching to ride his bike. He got some skates for Christmas. My basement is huge, so we cleaned out the basement, and he's been riding his skates in the basement. I told him, you know how lucky you are, man? You almost got like a roller skating ring in your basement, you know? He has to skate around the chairs in front of the fireplace and stuff, but it's pretty empty down there now, so whatever works, right? I need to go outside, get some sun, have some fun. And also because I'm on blood thinners for my recent medical issues, I'm always cold. And I was already always cold before the blood thinners. So like, yes, Algaray, turn the winter switch off. That is correct. I've had enough. So we've done our due diligence. I'm going to bounce on out of here. Not sure when I'll be back, but follow me on X at Stephen Cambion. Also, if you're listening in audio podcast land, we love and appreciate you, but you're missing half the fun. So go on over to YouTube. Put Truth Seekers, one word in the search bar. Look for me, the strange guy with sunglasses. Go there, smash the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and come be a part of our live tapings. You are most welcome. And if you haven't already, please do smash the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. You won't miss a live show. You'll know when we're doing one of these live tapings for the podcast, and you can come be a part of the fun. You are most welcome. And if you haven't already, please smash the like button and share these videos on your social media. Share. Do you know somebody that's been taken in by one of these new age scammers selling scam supplements? Share this video on your social media. Tag your friends. Help us get some more views. we would appreciate your help and support in any manner, including financial. So if you're feeling generous, make sure you check out the description of this video or podcast with all the instructions how you can support our show. So that's all I got for you, friends. I want to thank you kind and generous benefactors, you Patreon supporters, you YouTube channel members, you people gifting channel memberships, you people throwing us some kicks or becoming a subscriber on Kick, you people gifting subs on Kick, PayPal pledgers, people buying me a beer. We love and appreciate all of you. Thank you all for your support. So that's all I got for you, friends. Until next time, my name is Stephen Campion. Good night, and God bless all of you, including you, Ismael Perez, because I'm going to be continuing to cover you. And God bless you. God bless you, and best of luck to you. Good night, and God bless all of you.
Dark corners of the night, secrets hidden from the light. Whispers turn to screams, shattering all your dreams. Eyes wide open now, truth you can't disavow. Echoes through the halls, crashing all your walls. Truth seekers exposing the truth. Truth seekers coming for you. Uncover the lies, open your eyes. Shadows try to hide, no place for them to bide. Light will pierce you through, reveal what is true. Running from your fears, can't escape the